We'll just do a very quick catch-up of factorising, so you can get your head back around it. Alright, so the key thing will be with these questions is to expand everything you've got. Alright, so if you can look this way, please, green and blue. Very quickly, won't take long out of your time. So we want to expand everything we've got there. We've got 3 times x, and we've got we want a multiple of 3. Alright, to form 6, and that's obviously 3 times 2. That'll be obvious to some, it won't be obvious to others. That's why you'll have your times tables out in front of you. Okay, we then identify that this is the common thing. 3 goes out the front, x take 2 remains, and that goes into the brackets. So we're trying to locate the common thing. That goes out the front of a bracket. Whatever is left goes inside of the bracket. If we take this one, for example, we've got 4 times m times n, plus we've got L times M. Okay? The common thing here is our M, goes out the front. Whatever is left, 4 times N, looks like that, plus L goes inside the brackets. That's all that's left, so that goes in the brackets. Okay? Can we remember that? Remember that from last week sort of thing? Alright, these ones again, you've got to expand them all out. Expand out and make multiples. Alright, one thing to check on is particularly blue, those in blue, you'll try and take shortcuts with these ones because they'll be really easy to do. And you'll go, I'll just take shortcuts, I'll go to the right answer. But when you get to the longer ones, you'll miss things. So I'm asking you to get into habits here. Expand them out first, and then try and find the common themes, because although they're easy up here, they get far more difficult here. So blue group, I want you to take a little bit more care than what you might in the future in the basic ones. Any questions, I'll go through them on the board for you. Shuffle your cups or call me across, one of the 3. Okay? Green, if I could just grab your attention, except Jess. Green, if I can just grab your attention, please. When you get down to 7, question 7 here of 12b, there's just an extra step start to be involved. Okay, so I said to you before that, I'll just scroll that down a little bit to the question. I said to you before that if we have something common, which is the x take 1 and the x take 1, that goes out the front. They're common, okay? So x take 1 goes out the front, and whatever's left over goes inside the next bracket. I've just spoken about that. So x plus 2 is there, plus the other 3. Holsty, try and stay with it. So what we've got is x plus 2 plus 3 in the bracket. What you need to get in the habit of then saying is that, well, these are like terms, and we can simplify it. So don't just leave it at that. That's right, but a simpler version is x take 1, and then x, and plus 2 plus 3 makes a total of 5. Okay, and so that becomes better than just leaving it as that. Alright? So what I'm saying to you is there'll be a need sometimes to also collect like terms when you get down to question 7, where you might have more than 2 things left over, and they might be common to each other, so then you can simplify them. Okay? Of course, if you had an x in here, x plus x becomes 2x, those sorts of things. Alright, so just be aware of that for question 7 when you get to it. Okay? Does that make sense? Can I go through that better for anyone, or make that a bit clearer? Question 4, further back up. Yeah, absolutely.
Is this for 12B?
Yeah, this is for 12b. Yeah, that's right. 12b, question 4. Awesome. Yep, question 4. Okay, so if we were to look, Monique, at our example, our example is really similar to this. It starts with a negative and then it has a positive. Okay? And what they say to you is rewrite it with 6AB first. Rewrite it with the positive number first. And the reason why we do that is because whatever then we put out the front of the brackets, we try and make it positive. We try and make it positive. So the first step on this would be, obviously, to write it out, but after that would be to make the positive sign at the start. So we just get 10 take 5A. Remember that take belongs to that. Okay? So we're left with that. All right? And then what we say is expand it out and expand it out. The common multiple of these two is what? 5. Good girl. 5 times 2 is 10. Take 5 times 1 times A. I think you're doing it that way as well. All right. We can quickly see that 5 and 5 are our common themes, and so that goes out the front. Whatever's left over, 2 take A, goes in the brackets, and we're left with that. Okay? We don't have to put in the 1 because the 1 sort of sits there.
Oh,
To
okay.
take 1A. Yeah?
Okay, yep.
Is that alright?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep. Okay, so they've asked us to fully factorise this, Jessica. Alright? And so I look at the numbers first and I say 12 and 18, I know 6 is going to them. Alright? So 6 times 2, I want to take care of the numbers first. Okay? And then I've got x times x. Okay, so I'll factorise that. Take, and I'm using a multiple of 6, and a multiple of 6 to get 18 would be 6 times 3. Yeah? Got rid of that. Times x times y. Have you found the errors of your ways yet, Carl? My common themes is this and this. No different to what you've been doing previous. Yeah? No different at all. So you get that, and so you've done that, you've done that, done that, done that. What's left? That goes inside. 2 times x, take 3y. Here's a mistake he's made, is the fact that he hasn't put one of these x's out here. Okay? Slightly different worded question. Throws us a big. So be careful of that. Alright? Be careful. Does that make sense now? Yep. What have you been doing? You've just been going through the questions and you've just been going, oh, I'll look at the example, but I won't read what the question asked me. The question asked me to fully factorise. I think at one stage Jess just said, what does that mean? It's what you've been doing in the previous 10 questions or so, but because we don't necessarily read the questions we get in a row, when a question asks us in word form, we get thrown a bit. Yep, so for that, just because it looks really long, it's the same process. Yep. All right. What I'm going to look for is I'm going to look at my numbers first because I want to get the common factor. All right. What's the common factor of 9, 45 and 27?
X's.
No, what's the common factor if we just look at the numbers?
Threes.
3s would go into all of them. Is there a higher one than 3?
9.
Yeah. 9 3s are 27, 9 5s are 45, and 9 1s are 9. So 9 is your highest, and you always want to go for that.
Yeah.
So you've got 9 times x times x. Take. 9 times 5, I said was 45 times x. 9 3s are 27. And then from there it's the same process. Yeah. So we expand it out and try and find the common themes, pop them out front, pop the rest in the bracket. Alright with that?
Yep.
Yep.